If you enter that arena with the belief that you're going to be the one walking out, you've got a chance. But you can't tiptoe into it.
You can't.
We started this business at the worst possible time to try and start a business like ours, but I look at that as the best time to do it. Walk right into the storm and you'll come out of it quicker than if you're running from it.
True.
I have a stubbornness about my morality, integrity. The way I've always treated dealing with people is my job is to give you the information, not make a decision for you. Whether we succeed or fail is not going to be because we're going to make a left. We're going to stay the course and try and help people. And if that's good enough.
All right, guys, welcome back to Breaking Barriers. I'm super pumped. In a world where you have all these PE companies trying to roll up, different businesses in the service space, to have somebody in the building who is starting something and has built something that is, being ran and done properly, not just about like, hey, I want to roll this up or whatever. I'm sure you want to eventually, but I'm pumped to have, we got AJ Colantoni in the building here with us from Uncle Mike's. Dude, what is it like being in a business now that 5 to 10 years ago, there's no PE money in this world. Now your business is just like, talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, first of all, thanks for having me.
Of course.
What you guys are doing here is awesome. I'd love to be a part of this. And, we gravitated to you for the same things you said about us, which was really nice. It's crazy. I think 5 years ago, there was rumblings that this was a very good business to get involved with from a private equity standpoint, right? You had the eve of technology, you had the eve of AI, you had a lot of things that are going to crowd out very quickly a lot of industries, and you need people for our industry.
True.
And people need us in our industry. So I think private equity saw something sticky. What they did was incredible. How they did just fold a lot of businesses in. It's a whirlwind.
Yeah.
It was probably something that we were naive to in the beginning, right? You don't set out to start something to sell to private equity unless you've done that before or something like that. We set out to just do something we knew, do something we loved, and knew that we could repeat a very simple process.
Right.
Integrity, consistency, and act as fiduciaries in a space where people are not as apt to knowing exactly how to handle these types of situations.
Right.
But it's been nuts. A lot of people tell us we started this business at the worst possible time to try and start a business like ours, but I look at that as the best time to do it.
Totally.
Walk right into the storm and you'll come out of it quicker than if you're running from it.
True.
So, yeah.
True.
I mean, hopefully that answers some of your question, but it's been nuts.
So for people who are like, Uncle Mike's, who's Uncle Mike? What is this? Like, talk about like how you guys came up with the brand and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
So I love that story.
Yeah. So I was going to school to get my master's degree, and I was going at night. I needed something to pay the bills while I was going to school. I took on a project manager position in HVAC.
Oh.
My best friend had cut his teeth in the industry for 20 years. Really smart, honest guy. Said, we need some people to jump in and do some project management, sales, things like that. So I jumped into the world, saw it. Amongst a lot of pressure to do things differently, I did it my way. I was incredibly successful. I was the number one guy right out of the gates.
Wow.
Stayed that way for months.
Is it because you're good with people, you think? That was like what kind of led you to that?
I don't know if I'm good with people. I know that I like people.
Yeah.
And I know that I have a stubbornness about my morality, integrity. And the way I've always treated dealing with people is my job is to give you the information, not make a decision for you. And if I can help you do that over and over and over again, so I got in trouble at the company that I was at because I had the highest amount of callback sales they've ever had. Right? So I'd leave a house.
Stop bringing sales in, man. Come on.
I'd leave your house saying, look, you're not in a hurry.
Yeah.
The sky's not falling. You're going to be uncomfortable for a day or two.
Right. You'll be okay.
Make the decision when you're ready. And, I got the call all the time. So fast forward, a lot of guys in that field, that company was taken over by a massive firm, billion-dollar firm. Things started to change. I used to work for the family that started that business. They're a $100 million company started
Wow.
by a family.
Damn.
And it all started to change. So I saw these great people, an opportunity to write a business plan. So I wrote a business plan. I put it in front of these people. These are really good men and women that worked in the industry. They all said, sure, let's do it.
Wow.
So we left. We had the business plan. We were ready to go. We bootstrapped it, which meant we just put a little money into it and kind of just, tied this to our boots and said, let's go. So we were about to have the baby and we didn't have a name. We had everything ready. We had a bunch of generic names, this mechanical, this, that, and the other thing, and nothing really stuck. And one of the guys that came along for the ride with us had been in contracting for over 20 years. He's my children's chosen uncle.
Wow.
His name is Mike. And my kid's emergency plan is stay calm and call Uncle Mike. When I used to work for Uncle Mike, we would do pavement line striping when we were younger, and we wouldn't get done till 4 a.m, and we got to get home, and he would see somebody on the side of the road and go, we're going to be late.
Right.
We got to go help.
Right.
It was that mantra, that feeling that was true and honest that I said, guys, I don't have a name for the baby, but I know who I want us to be out in the world.
Right.
So we're going to call it Uncle Mike's.
Dude, I love that.
And that's
because
it.
it's funny when we first met. You were like, all right. Before obviously I thought Kevin said your name was AJ, and then obviously you told the story, and I was like, dude, I love that. And honestly, more people need to be like Uncle Mike. There's so many people out there that need help. We just had the podcast before you came on, and being somebody who can be a big pair of hands in the world when people need it is so, I feel like, just undervalued.
It's undervalued, and I agree with you. And I think there's a lot of people out there that do want to do the right thing.
Yeah.
They want to help. And nothing against how anybody else runs their business. But what you're starting to see out in the world is who you used to rely on. Mm-hmm. The name of the company your parents used. You're in Brick, right? Or you were from Brick.
Yeah.
And growing up in Brick, there were 4 or 5 companies that I could point to and tell somebody to use any day of the week that are no longer family owned.
Wow.
The system have changed. The employees themselves are the same people, but driven by a different end goal.
Right.
So things are starting to change. And I do think that I said this in our meeting, whether we succeed or fail is not going to be because we're going to make a left where everybody's making a left. We're going to stay the course and try and help people. And if that's good enough, then that's good enough.
Right.
I do believe it is. If it's not, then we're going to fail that way, if that makes any sense.
By doing the right thing.
Over and over and over.
I love that, man. I really do love that. What would you say, like, knowing what you know now, if you were to go back and start the business again, what would Mike from the future be telling Mike from the starting point?
All right, so I think the first thing we would do is be very tempered with our growth. And we would also never bootstrap it again. We would try and put the plan in front of people that believe in us, believe in what we're doing, and see if there's some financial, because I think one of the things we were naive about is just how much capital we were going to need to
get out there,
to continue to do the things that we were doing, to continue to grow with the right people. It costs money to recruit the right people. You had a gentleman on your podcast discussing a staffing agency. And it's spot on with that type of development. But that costs money. And that's an important thing. So you need money to get out there and do the right thing, support your team. So that is one thing I would look at is you're undercapitalized. Even when you don't think you're undercapitalized, you're always undercapitalized. So become very good at raising money when you need it or finding that line of credit when you need it. Other than that, I hate to say this, I wouldn't have changed a single thing.
On what you did?
No, not at all. Because we didn't go into this blind. We entered into the dogfight of dogfights here in Monmouth and Ocean County. It's the most highly condensed, oversaturated HVAC market in the entire country.
Throw a pebble and fucking hit.
We knew it. We were going after it. And that's kind of who we are. We're all...
Yeah, you're an athlete.
Yeah.
Soccer guy.
I played a lot of sports growing up, but soccer was probably the thing that I was best at. And I used to talk about that in my meetings. I used to have a crew of about 30 guys that worked for me at this big HVAC firm. And I used to tell them, forget about soccer, football, baseball, basketball, but every single person, and now it's become cliche, enters the arena the wrong way or the right way.
True.
If you enter that arena with the belief that you're going to be the one walking out, you've got a chance. But you can't tiptoe into it.
You can't. And so you felt like maybe you tiptoed in and you should have freaking came out swinging.
We tiptoed in. We were the right amount of insecure on whether we could do this.
Right.
And I would have liked to have been a little bit more bullish, believing in ourselves a little bit more. But you know what? It took going after it and just getting it started to see if what we were made of.
To find it. You got to find out.
We had a line of people offering us money, to keep pushing it forward.
I love that.
It all worked out.
I love the saying that a good captain never learned anything at the dock.
That's true.
You want the boat to be nice and shiny, not ding anything. You're not gonna learn how to drive a boat at the dock, right? So I love that that concept. Now you also have children.
Yes.
How many kids do you have? 3 girls.
Yeah.
What's their ages again?
12, 10, and 4.
12, 10, and 4.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, being obviously a business owner, having a family, you were doing, school at nights. Did you have kids when you were doing that?
I did. Yeah. 2.
What has been like the, I guess, biggest eye opener now? Having a child that's 12, what are you viewing as you as a dad in all of this too? Like,
gratitude.
Yeah.
I have, and I'm sure this is cliche, but I have the most amazing partner in this space.
Yeah.
Somebody that knew I had to go out on my own and do my own thing, knew what sacrifices that meant for her to support me, because she is brilliant in her field, works full time, does the whole thing. So for her to have my back, I'm just super grateful. I think I'm the luckiest guy in the world. With the kids, it's interesting because, I want to create a legacy business for them to be proud of, possibly get involved in.
Right.
And I want them to see what hard work looks like. We come up with instant gratification right now. You see a lot of things. You get exposed to a lot of things. We kept the phones away from them. All of those things, but you can't avoid it, right? It's a space that we're always going to be in. So for me, they already see mom. They already see how hard mom works. I wanted them to see how hard dad can work for himself. And maybe that's a little selfish or self-centered, but I wanted them to see something different than me leaving which was happening for a lot of their lives. Me leaving at 6 a.m, coming home at 7 p.m, spending some time with them, shower, shave, go to bed, rinse, repeat.
Right.
I wanted them to see their dad go out and try. Whether he fails or succeeds, I'm very open with them about how good we're doing, what the pipeline looks like. I'm teaching them some of the marketing. I'm teaching them some of the logistics of the business. So I personally think win, lose, or draw, this has been an amazing thing for me and my family.
That's great.
And then the last thing is I tell them about my staff every day because I tell them I think about them in a much different way, the way I think about supporting you guys as well. Except, for them, it's their families and so on and so forth. So I carry that, and I want you guys to know that that's a huge part of being an entrepreneur as well.
Right.
Caring about this group you have to take care of and steer.
Yeah. It's the way I guess it's kind of like easier categorized, like, you feed X amount of families.
Yeah.
Right. And I remember with us, this year going into 2026, like we're right under 100 people. And, and being at that point, it's like just some people are like, dude, I don't know how the hell you're doing that, or that's crazy, because we have people all over the country in multiple countries. And, it's like, I think you said it perfectly, man. Like, and it helped me understand a little bit better for myself, because it's like, as long as you're doing the right thing by people, in every direction, right, you're going to be okay.
Yeah.
Like if you do the right thing, like people went to you when you were at that other job because you were not there trying to sell them something. Like you said, you were just kind of like, hey, here's the situation. I'm here if you need me. You're not going to die tomorrow if this doesn't happen, right? And I think in a world where people are just trying to get the sale and they just want to overdo it, right, versus like do the right thing by people, So it's really, really cool. And you guys have 15 people, did you say last time?
Yeah, so we've got 13 with a couple of outsourced people.
Okay.
So 15 total.
It's very cool, man.
Started with 4,
Right.
3.5 years ago. So the growth has been cool. But you said it right. I mean, at the end of the day, as long as you care about people in general on both sides of the equation, right? You've got your customer base that you have to care about. You've got your internal side of things that you have to care about. And then you have to care about the people they care about.
Exactly.
And you can't solve every problem. You can't get in too deep, but where you can get in, you've got to get in.
Right.
And you have to care about what you're doing. I personally think that it wasn't me that came up with this, but one of my partners said, everything that we do should be easy with the customers.
Yep.
Because you should treat every single customer as if they were your grandmother, your brother, your sister.
Right.
Because in that situation, you don't think about the right decision. You just do it.
Correct.
And that's what my guys do. So when I think about my staff, I think about that the same way.
Right.
This is not a number, a unit of labor. It's somebody that, is a neighbor, a friend, and somebody that I care about. It just makes every hard decision a lot easier.
Yeah. I love that, man. That's really, really cool. Where do you see Uncle Mike's going in the next few years?
That's a really good question. So we obviously have our designs of where we're going, right? I mean, we look at the HVAC space in maybe a unique way, but we look at it through the lens of an athlete. Right now, we consider ourselves a high-level high school player.
Okay.
We want to go D1, right? And pushing that barrier into D1 does have a number to it, right? There's a number, and we want to get to that next level over the next year. And then I would say 3 years from now, we want to be thinking about entering the draft early.
Nice.
But we're going to give ourselves some time. Maybe we go through all 4 years. Maybe we graduate a little smarter, a little wiser before we go pro. Or maybe we get there quicker, but we're going to train starting today as if somebody that wants to be a pro athlete.
Love that analogy.
So, I mean, that's the only way that I know how to attack things, but that's kind of where we see ourselves. We want to go pro. We want to be one of the top 3-4 players in the market, standalone, privately owned, as long as we possibly can, and serve as many good people as we can.
And you will, and we'll make sure of it too.
I appreciate that.
Now, where can people, so 2 things before we wrap up here. Is there any sort of life quote or adage you've been told that you live by when it comes to trials and tribulations and tough stuff?
No, and I say no only because there's been so many. I studied religion, philosophy in college, so there was just so many that to pinpoint one would be really hard. What I will say is back to the same mantra of treat people right, maintain yourself as a fiduciary. The only thing that I've ever carried with me that I give to my entire staff is some will, some won't, so what?
Right.
If you've done your job and I've given you everything you need to know about your situation, I've given you as many options as you can with your situation. I've given you the open door policy to call me in any type of situation you need, including if you need advice going with somebody else. You either will go with me and you won't go with me, but it's okay.
Yeah. I love that. Either way.
Yeah.
And where can people engage with Uncle Mike's if they need you?
Yeah. Obviously, you can call us directly, 848-900-MIKE. We are available at trustunclemike.com. The trust part is everything for us. We do have the Instagrams and the socials, but really, I mean, if you just Google Uncle Mike's Home Service, you're going to find a lot about us before you ever even come to our site.
Right.
You're going to see our reviews.
Yep.
In the same mantra that I told you over and over again, we've never faked one, asked for one. We've never solicited one with any sort of givebacks or anything like that. They are truly organic, and we're really proud of that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Most people are begging for those reviews.
Well, you got to.
Yeah.
Some people farm them, which stinks.
Yeah.
But they're authentic, and they're rad. We're really proud of it.
That's awesome, man. Well, AJ, it's been an honor having you on the podcast. I'm excited to see you keep growing this business. I look forward to the next steps here, and thank you for your time today.
Thanks for having me. This is exciting. I'm excited to keep watching your podcast, and you've done a great thing here, and we're just happy to be a part of it.
Thank you, brother. All right, guys.
Thank you for watching the Breaking Barrier Show. Tune in on all podcast and streaming platforms.